planets. Actually, it's the third one. Our solar system consists of 8 planets that revolve around Sun in fixed orbits or rows, while each planet has a number of moons that rotate around their planets. Our planet Earth has only one moon that moves around it in a fixed orbit. In the same time, Earth is revolving around Sun once every 365 days and 1/4 a day, and this what causes the 4 seasons. And don't forget that Earth in the same time is revolving around itself, causing day and night once every 24 hours. So how many rotations do we have till now? 3. Earth around Sun and around itself, while Moon is rotating around Earth itself. Due to all these rotations, a very special phenomenon that happens when Earth, Sun and Moon are in one straight line while Moon is in the middle position. What do we call this astronomical phenomenon? Solar eclipse. So what's the solar eclipse? It occurs when Earth, Moon and Sun are in one straight line where Moon is in the middle position. The Moon revolves around Earth in a specific orbit, and Earth revolves with its Moon in a specific orbit around Sun. As a result, an astronomical phenomenon known as solar eclipse occurs. How does this happen or occur? That's a very important question. As we said before, that solar eclipse occurs when the Moon comes between the Sun and Earth, where all of them are in one straight line. What will happen then? This Moon is going to be able to hide sunlight from reaching to the Earth. Is it possible? Yes. Although the Moon is very small, while Sun is very big, but Moon would be able to hide sunlight from reaching to the Earth because it's very far away from it. And I want you here to remember the example of hiding a building by using a cone. I'm able to do that only if I stand very far away from that building. So, when Moon comes between Sun and Earth, and due to the huge distance that apart Moon from the Sun, Moon will be able to hide sunlight from reaching to the Earth. What will happen then? Because Moon is an opaque object and because light travels only in straight line, a shadow of the Moon will be formed and fall on Earth's surface. But here I'm going to have 2 shadow areas. Why do I'm going to have 2 shadow areas? Because my source of light here is the Sun, which is a huge source of light. In this case only, we can have 2 shadow areas. What are these 2 shadow areas? A real shadow area called umbra, and the second one is a semi-shadow area that's called penumbra. A real shadow area is very dark, while the semi-shadow area, penumbra, is a little bit faded shadow area. How can we watch all this? According to our geographical location, according to the location of our country during the solar eclipse. If you are standing in the umbra area or in the shadow area, or if your country is located inside the umbra area, so you will not be able to see the Sun completely. You are going to see a total or complete darkness during daytime. Can you imagine this? Why does this happen? Because at this moment Moon is hiding the Sun completely. So if you are standing in umbra, you will not see the Sun completely because Moon is hiding it all. But if you are standing in the penumbra or in the semi-shadow area, or actually if your country is located inside the penumbra area, you will see only a part of the Sun, because at this moment the Moon is hiding only part of the Sun. So we have many types of solar eclipse. But first, how long does it take? The solar eclipse is a phenomenon that doesn't last more than 7 minutes and 40 seconds. So that's the duration of any solar eclipse that will happen. So we can observe more than one type of the solar eclipse occurring during the Moon's passage in front of the Sun and the part of the Sun that it hides from Earth. That's why we have more than one type of solar eclipse, due to the passage of the Moon in front of the Sun and according to the hidden area of the Sun by the Moon. So how many types of solar eclipses do we have? Actually, there are three types of solar eclipse. The first type is called total solar eclipse. It's formed in the shadow area or in the umbra area in which we can't see the sun completely. That's why we call it total, because we can't see the sun totally or completely, and we are able to observe this type of solar eclipse only if we are standing in the umbra area. The second type is called partial solar eclipse, and it's formed in the semi-shadow area of the moon in which we can see a part of the sun. That's why we call it partial, because we can see only in that type of solar eclipse a part of the sun, not all of it. And it happens only if we are standing in the semi-shadow area or in the penumbra. The third type is called annular solar eclipse, and it's formed when the moon comes in a higher orbit than Earth, as it revolves in an oval orbit. The cone shadow doesn't reach to the Earth, and the sun appears as a ring. This type of solar eclipse happens rarely, only because, as we said, that moon revolves around Earth in a fixed orbit. This orbit has an oval shape, so sometimes when moon as the corner is at the corner of that oval shape, it becomes higher than Earth. So when it's higher than Earth, it will be closer to the sun. So moon will not be able to hide the whole sun or the whole sun. So the sun will appear as a ring. In the same time, the shadow of the moon will not be able to reach to the Earth because now it's farther from Earth. So again, annular solar eclipse, it happens because moon is moving around Earth in an oval orbit. So sometimes when moon is at the corner of that oval shape, it becomes higher than Earth. Can you imagine this? When it's higher than Earth, it will be closer to the sun and farther from Earth. Closer to the sun, so it will not be able to hide it all. That's why sun will appear as a ring. And farther from Earth, so the shadow of the moon will not be able to reach to Earth because now it will be so far away from it. Those are the three types that we have of the solar eclipse. Then here we have the safety precautions on observing solar eclipse. It's too dangerous to observe the solar eclipse, particularly with your naked eyes, without wearing special glasses. Why? Because doctors warn of the direct observation of the sun as its rays harm the eye and it can cause blindness within a few minutes. So special glasses are used to observe the